Hello, and welcome to Plato's Gaming Cave. I'm Joe.
And I'm Aristotle.
And we decided we'd try something a little bit different because I've been talking to Dave about how I don't have any time to play games, and I do enjoy games. I'm a PC geek. I've got all this tech here. I've got a half decent machine, and I go onto things like Epic Games and Steam and all the sales, and I keep buying games or getting the free games, and I don't play them. At best, I get sort of 5-10 minutes to jump onto a game like Overwatch and shoot a couple of things and go, right, well, that's me done. So I figured it would be quite good if we could try and do something where we involve our little project, where we're trying to, have all these different philosophical conversations with a bit of entertainment. So tonight we are actually going to be playing Civ 6. Now, I've not actually played this game, but you can see it up there. We've just got to the point where we had the server set up, so I suppose we should press start. I've not played it before, whereas Dave has, although I am a long-time Civ fan. I hope I hope that it's not too difficult and different from the rest. Now, the question is, I hope that I'm coming through okay, volume-wise. I might have to turn off the background music because I don't think anyone's going to be able to hear us. But what we also do have is a way to switch back and forth between my screen and Dave's. So Dave's is also loading, as you can see. So
from the first stirrings of life beneath water to the great beasts
see that.
of the stone.
So yeah, we figured we'd have a go at this. We're just basically, a little bit of philosophy.
Now begins your
I'll let him
greatest
chat.
quest.
He's going on and on.
From this early
Who's philosophy? I don't know anything about no philosophy.
Well, we're screwed because I get all mine from you.
I wouldn't do that. I know nothing.
Well, Dave, this is a glass, and inside it is wine.
All I can see is Civ, so no, there is no glass there. I don't have a posh gaming setup. I've just got a laptop.
Oh,
because I'm poor.
Yeah, well, I don't really have a posh gaming setup. My computer's about 10 years old. I just spent a lot of money on it then, so it still plays everything quite well. And due to working at home and working for a company where I do computery things, they sent me extra monitors home. So
nice.
I can't really complain. My turn. Ooh, so there's horses over there. It's a strategic, and I've got what's this? Oh, diamonds. I'm just gonna build my city here. I'm like on the top of a mountain, and there's like some horses and shit over there. Is it still B? Hey! Let's go exploring. The game is waiting on me. Oh, okay. I need to do something in the city. Right. Nothing being done. 4 turns until growth. Oh, Dave, this is different. You used to just click on the city. Oh, you
yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I had actually looked into this before doing it. Before playing, like even when I was considering getting it, and it did look like they made it a bit more complicated. I'm gonna turn the music like basically down to barely nothing because I don't think people really need that coming through. I definitely don't. Yeah, it can be there quietly in the background. Confirm. Right, now back. Return to game. So, okay, so so you can either build a monument to start off, or you can get your scouts, etc. Or a slinger. They're new, aren't they? For the start.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Right. Let's go scouting. I can choose the research as well. Well, let's have a look. mining would be a good one to start with, I think, seeing as I've got diamonds and a quarry, I think, there for stone, so that makes sense. And then next turn. Ah, this turn-based combat. Do you know what else I can do now, Dave? I've just realised I can actually see what you're doing. I can switch it to your
Cheater.
screen. Look at you. Ah, excellent. But yeah, so obviously the reason we chose the name Plato's Gaming Cave, well, it might not be obvious, but obviously there's Plato's Cave. And it was the only thing philosophy related I could think of at such short notice. That's as much thought that went into it.
It makes sense.
But yes, I've actually been thinking about something we've brushed on a couple of times, Dave.
Yeah.
And that was talking about what a philosopher is. So, who's that? Who are these people? Barbarians! Oh no. I did a silly thing there. I'm going to lose that unit. Yeah, so I think maybe being a philosopher in today's world is probably a bit different to being a philosopher in a in an older sense.
Yeah.
So, realistically speaking, what are the characteristics to start with that you think make someone a philosopher? Because I find that there are a lot of people who call themselves a philosopher, but they don't seem to really represent what I perceive as a philosopher. I look at myself and think, well, I'm a philosophy enthusiast. You know, I enjoy philosophy, but I've got no real formal training. I don't have the time as well to look into this anywhere near as much as I would like. And therefore, I don't feel like I could call myself a philosopher. But I look at, say, someone like you, and I would say that you have the qualities that I would put forward to being a philosopher. But I know you don't regard yourself as a philosopher. You're more like, well, I'm a philosopher in training.
Yeah. I think there's a certain base level of knowledge to sort of past arguments, current trends in philosophy, understanding various different things in the field. So having a basic understanding of logic, symbolic logic, aesthetics, arguments in philosophy of mind and ethics. There's a base level to, and like epistemology. You have to have a sort of grounding in all those. And I suppose it's somebody who also thinks a particular way, looks at particular questions, explores things analytically, that kind of thing.
So there is part of it is the attitude, the way you look at things, the way you approach things, but there is more to it. Do you actually think you need to know everything from every philosopher before you, or do you think it's you get a base level? I
think it's a base level.
Right.
There are certain popular arguments, so sort of you have to have read most of Plato's work and understood where those arguments come from, because some of them are still sort of represented today. You have to understand, say, Cartesian skepticism, foundationalism, fallibilism, Popper, that kind of thing.
I'm glad you said fallibilism. Our
Yeah.
favourite philosopher on the internet who knows less than me, and I'm an idiot.
No, you're not.
I couldn't pass the first couple of months of a philosophy course with what I know, and this person knows less. Josh has chimed in. Hi, Josh. He says he thinks the basic
Hello,
law
Josh.
of wisdom is more relevant now than it ever has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you can still like philosophy and have a philosophical attitude and the way you approach things, but that doesn't necessarily make you a philosopher. In the same way that you can like science, you can read a lot of scientific papers and stuff like that, but that doesn't necessarily make you
A scientist.
as a scientist. Oh, I'm having a
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah, that's basically how I see it. It's if you're going to be a professional, you have to be minimally qualified. You've probably specialized in a particular area, but you still have a good grounding in a whole wide range of areas with philosophy.
Yeah, fair. Oh, I've got to choose things. This is definitely more complicated, Dave.
Yeah.
It's like the whole
Wait till
layout.
you start getting to.
I'm in the government stuff.
Yeah, wait until you get to the religion stuff.
Oh, can you just choose atheism?
No.
Damn it!
No.
So discipline or double experience for recon units? Only recon units. I'm gonna go for that. And God King. I can be a God King. Or urban planning, +1 production in all cities. But to be honest, at the moment, I've only got one city, so I'll just go with that one. Is our policy agenda set? I think so.
That's more than Johnson.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, going back to the philosopher thing, I think as well, there's a certain attitude towards learning and conversations that most philosophers have. They have sort of a sense of, well, at least most of the ones I come across, they have a kind of humility about what they know and the conversations that they hold and that kind of thing.
Fair.
Although there are some asshole philosophers, of course, obviously, because humans.
Yeah. Do you think they're generally more charitable then?
I
in
do.
General.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least a good philosopher.
Yeah, most of the ones I come across anyway.
Josh is asking if we can pick Kim Jong Un. I'm sure there is an.
There is I think there is a Korea, but it's not Kim Jong, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an add-on that you could get somewhere though that could do it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Well, what do you think makes a good philosopher, or just makes a philosopher?
Well, I think the first and foremost bit of it is the attitude that someone might have. And the inquisitiveness, and like when people say like all children are philosophers. To an extent, that is the grounding that I think might make a good philosopher. But you've obviously got to be interested, and you've got to have some follow through. You can't just ask why.
Yeah. You have to be able to focus your questions on getting at the heart of certain things.
Yeah, definitely.
That's another thing about being a good philosopher. You have to know how to focus your questions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I'm probably not too good at that. It's an ongoing practice. An ongoing practice. So Slinger. Ooh. I should get one of those, shouldn't I? Let's get one of those. The workers, do they have auto build?
Not that I can remember. I haven't played this since the start of my masters, really.
Oh, man.
It's kind of like you. I just didn't get time. And now when I do have time, I sit there. If I load a game, I think, shit, I really should be reading this or writing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, anytime I get a moment, I feel like, oh well, I need to, you know, work on the podcast or write a new article or you know, anything like that. And yeah, Ugh. Yeah, winning my battles.
Nice one. I haven't actually had one yet.
Oh, I've got all sorts of wins. Let's swing it back to your screen. Let's see
I
if we
don't
can
want to know about your farts.
Oh wow, you've actually got a load of people around you as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I picked a bad spot, didn't I?
Yeah. I got lucky. Though I always get lucky with you, Dave.
Oh.
But yeah, so I think the attitude is a real big one. With a philosopher, the inquisitive mind, the realizing you don't know everything. For example, you shouldn't think that the only theory of knowledge is justified true belief.
Yeah.
You know, it's even if you don't know what it is, it's, well, what are the theories of knowledge? How do I find out the different theories of knowledge? Has anyone else had similar ideas to me before me? Or, you know, have I got an original idea here about this? Oh, well, actually, no, maybe theirs is quite similar to me. So I agree with what they put forward. I thought it was my idea, but actually, someone's already had that one. Damn it.
Yeah. Most people already have. What did somebody say once? All philosophy is just footnotes to Plato.
I like it.
I mean, I don't particularly buy it because we come a long way since then, but I get the idea.
Yeah. Oh, blimey. Astrology? I don't want that. No
Yes,
one wants
because it
astrology.
helps you navigate.
I know the game's waiting on me. It's so impatient. I'm trying to decide
Yeah,
my
just me
technology.
speeding through.
Well, you know what you want, what you really want.
Bazinga.
Oh god, I got more barbarians on my ass. Oh, they've attacked me. I think I fought them off. I didn't die anyway. Do I attack them back? Yeah. Oh. Oh, promotion available. Excellent. A unit needs orders. Oh, okay. Let's go over here. Mine? Right, you keep exploring. Hang on, it said promotion available. Can I not do them yet?
I think they have to be done at the beginning of a turn.
Right, okay. So I may well get killed by the barbarians on this next one. Oh, I survived! I survived!
Nice.
Found one of those little villages. Oh, all it did was heal my unit. Right, so where is promotion available? There we go. So Tortoise plus 10 combat strength when defending against ranged attack. No, I'll go battle cry on these guys. Let's go find shit. Choose production. Yes. Oh, new civic stuff. This is yeah, I mean underneath the hood it's still a bit similar, but it's different as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
all the others I found really easy to pick up on my first go. But
Yeah, this one's a lot more detailed city management.
yeah, I'm probably going to screw it all up, I'm sure, but
I do that all the time. I wouldn't worry.
So yeah, I think the base level bit that you were talking about is right. I mean, you sort of need, like we were saying with science. There's a see you, Josh. Have fun at work. There's a base
Have a good
understanding.
day, Josh.
There's a base understanding that you probably need to take things forward, but it's like what part, where does that go? How much of the understanding is actually what do you call it? Yeah, how much understanding, how much knowledge? Where do you go with that sort of thing? Is it just a case of, well, actually, all you need? Oh, I found a yellow people, Congo Scout, ooh,
You racist.
and barbarian scouts. Ooh, and yeah, I think like a base understanding of the key topics would probably be something that everybody needs, but
Yeah.
it I'm I'm unsure if you need to necessarily know how everything and every topic, and I think it's like with science, you get a base understanding of things, and you'll then specialize in a particular field. You might become a biologist. You might then specialize in evolutionary biology or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's kind of similar in philosophy. Like you could go on to be an epistemologist or an ethicist or work in the philosophy of mind, a neurophilosopher, that kind of thing.
So if you were going to do anything, be anything, etc., as become a philosopher as a profession, what would you want to be?
I really like the idea of ethics, to be honest.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
particular sort of ethics? Would it be sort of political ethics or just ethics in general?
Just ethics in general. Discussions about how we ought to live and how to live the best life, those kind of questions. And also philosophy of religion. That's
Fair.
another one I would consider.
I suppose that's an interesting topic. I suppose that window is getting smaller and smaller, though. Hey, Martine, how you doing?
Hey, Martine.
Yeah, I suppose the window with that one is getting smaller and smaller, though, isn't it? On the whole religion side of things, there are a lot of religious arguments that are showing more and more to be less valid, should we say?
Yeah, but people are still arguing with them. The discussion's still going on. And there's questions within the philosophy of religions, like that sort of crossover. And plus, there's like modal logic, discussions about free will, their neurophilosophy and philosophy of religion. So, when you're discussing philosophy or religion, it's actually quite a wide area.
Yeah, fair. I mean, would you focus on a particular religion yourself?
Well, no, it would just be focusing on the philosophy of religion.
Oh, religion in general, yeah. Okay. I was just wondering if you found people specialize on a particular religion, because you might find a Christian philosopher
that would be
focused.
Theology.
Yeah, but they'd still be talking about philosophy of religion at the same time as well, wouldn't they? But they'd be specializing in their theology. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing good, Martine. We are just trying to decide what makes someone a philosopher. Rather than someone just saying that they're a philosopher, what would the characteristics of a good philosopher be? And a lot of it is the attitude that someone might have about certain things. And a certain base knowledge was the main sort of thing we were discussing, and the inquisitiveness, etc. What do you think the minimum requirements for a philosopher are. Is there anything else on top of that you think? We'll let him get back to us when he can. Apparently we're getting some encoding overloaded marks. Might be because I'm switching back and forth between our screens. I'm sure it's nothing too serious.
Are you cheating?
No,
Watching my game going on. How dare you?
I am watching your game going on a little bit, yeah. Just when I'm waiting for mine to go through. It's interesting how many people are around you. There's not really anyone around me. So it's really interesting that you're in a place swarmed by people. There's a load of barbarians all over the place. I've even found one of their little encampments. They've got some spearmen though. So he reckons we should discern between educated philosophers and self-educated philosophers. Yeah, but wouldn't they be at the same level? If they knew the same sort of topics, if they had the same stuff going on, would they? Does it matter how someone trains? Really, does someone need to be trained in an academic situation, or formally educated, as you say, Martin? Does someone need a formal education to really be a philosopher? Could you get to the same level? Could you read all the books and papers and study and learn, and do it all yourself?
I think you could. But with the formal education, you have the advantage of talking to professional philosophers who can help you understand things and also let you know when you're understanding things or when you're wrong about your understanding of things, like you say.
Yeah, I think there's a quite a common misconception that there's no wrong answers in philosophy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as Martin says, being formally educated gives you a lot more certainty as to what different thinkers meant.
Yeah.
It is good to have that outside opinion. I think anyone that is interested in philosophy needs that. They need someone to bounce things off of, who equally have had that education themselves. Yeah. It's interesting when people do make claims like philosophy is dead, though. I don't understand exactly why they believe that, apart from when they're just appealing to an authority they think, oh god, I just used my scout to attack someone I shouldn't have. But he did okay. I've got settler. Nice.
I think the philosophy is dead thing is it's become quite common in the atheist community simply to be a science promoter or science enthusiast, and some scientists have said philosophy is dead. And you have the people whose only experience of philosophy might be hearing a couple of arguments from William Lane Craig or Deepak Chopra.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's all I came into, I would think philosophy was useless as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know what I pressed. Choose a pantheon for your people. Choose a pantheon? Oh, blimey. What is this, Dave?
It's your religion. The first step to your religion, you fake atheist.
Oh.
I'm so atheist, I don't even want it in my game.
mean, this one sounds good. It's got wine. The goddess of festivals. I mean, I like wine. Incense. I mean, take or leave it. Cocoa is all right. Coffee. I mean, and tea. Coffee and tea. I mean, wine, coffee, and tea. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Although this one's got oral, which I also like. Found this pantheon, working towards a religion. God, this, yeah, wow, okay. Ugh. And now I need to, I need to build things. So, a district in your city for military facilities. I will get one of those. Oh, do you have to choose where you're buying it now?
What?
Well, you can, sorry, I'll go back in, choose production, and if you click encampment, it's asking me where I want it.
Oh, I didn't even know about any of that.
I don't know. I'm a bit lost as to what it wants me to do. Do you want to build an encampment district here? Yes. I see. Okay. Yeah. I'm confused, but I think I get it. Whoa. Oh no. They captured my settlers. Damn them. Run away! Go kill these people and take their settlers back. Oh blimey, you're gonna die if I need to run them away as well. I'm not having... Gonna have a bad time. I want my settler.
So now that we've discussed being a philosopher, is there anything else?
Being a philosopher, is there any more than being? There's doing.
Yeah.
Is part of being a philosopher doing philosophy?
Yeah.
Or can you be a philosopher but no longer do philosophy?
Could you stop being a philosopher?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if it's in you to ask questions a certain way, think certain ways, explore topics certain ways, be a certain kind of analytic, wouldn't that just be part of who you are then? So even if you're not researching the questions, you would still have those traits and behaviors.
Yeah. I am on board with that.
Sort of like being a computer programmer.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be working in the field, but you still have all the skills, so you're still a computer programmer.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say the same with science as well. Once you're fully trained in a particular field, so yeah, you'd still be a scientist even if you're no longer an active scientist.
Exactly.
How can you buy units in this like you used to in the other ones?
I can't remember. I think so. I think if you click on the city.
Yeah. I need to. Yeah. Go back in. Don't think I can choose where to do it. Spearman, and then is there scroll to building, scroll to wonders? I don't see. Oh, hey Adam. He says philosophy of science is still alive and many scientists use it, but there are those that share Feynman's idea that the philosophy of science is useful to science as ornithologists are to birds.
Yeah. It's a shame people are, I suppose it's the competitive nature.
Yeah. That makes sense. How much money do I have? I'm so lost with this game, Dave. Right.
We should have picked something more simple.
No, I'm glad we didn't. Right, that's fine. Dave appeared in my thingy. Oh yeah, I've lost my workers as well. Bastards. Right. I'm about to get wrecked. Oh, they've wandered off with my settlers as well. Ah. Yeah, I mean, I suck. I do. He's watching me play the game. We should watch you instead.
No,
You're doing
I
better
suck
than me.
too.
So, what's your least favorite aspect of philosophy?
I don't think there is one.
No, there's no subject that pops up that makes you go, ugh, this again, or anything like that?
No, not really.
Fair. Are there any particular conversations that make your eyes roll?
Is morality subjective or objective? It's just such an old, sort of tiring conversation, and the people that have it are generally not looking to have a more in-depth discussion. They're just looking more to yell at you.
Yeah, I generally find the subjective versus objective thing, it's usually people having an argument, and it's usually a theist going, it's objective because it's from God, so therefore, and then you've got an atheist who hasn't spent much time looking into it going, oh, no, it's subjective because there is no God.
Or it's subjective because different people have different ideas,
Yeah.
and it doesn't get much deeper than that.
Yeah. Martin says he doesn't like epistemology. He says he finds it far too complicated.
Yeah, when you get deeper and deeper into it, it can be kind of boring, I guess, but I still kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, fair. I mean, what I've looked into so far, I quite enjoy, but I'm also aware that I'm far from well trained in it.
Yeah, start looking into symbolic logic and putting the arguments together that way, and looking into things like the closure principle, and it all starts to get very complicated.
I'm sure it does. I wish I had the time to be completely lost in it. But, you know, I'll settle for playing Civ with you instead.
Yeah.
Right. Who's that? You need to come down there. And Adam says that he doesn't really like social constructivism, like as if dinosaurs are social constructs.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that one. Yeah, I kind of like social constructionism from the psychology side. But yeah, social constructivism, building everything is social constructs. I mean, I suppose you could argue they are, but at the same time, they're built around something tangible.
I forget sometimes that you've got a psychology degree. Have you ever considered doing something along that path?
No, because I wasn't good enough at it. I mean, I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but there are people that are much better at it than I am, and I would need a master's to go any further. And my next degree is one in computing science. So
Yeah, it's an interesting switch, isn't it? Jump into. I mean, I know you used to program and everything back in the day, anyway. Um, Probably did it all on command line DOS, didn't you?
I did. I did it in Turbo Pascal and UCSD Pascal, at least on the PC.
Yeah, brilliant. Interesting to jump back into that, but I do think it's the way the world is going. I think it's definitely something that more people need to get into. You can even get into IT without doing an IT job, all the project manager stuff and all of that.
Yeah. IT is very different now. It was still quite a blossoming thing when I got into it. Like it wasn't quite as competitive, but now everybody does IT, so it's really very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember when I was working on the checkouts in Sainsbury's. I think I was about 14 years old, and I remember a guy coming in talking to me about how what he did. And he was a Java programmer, and he was saying, the starting wage there is like £100 an hour. But I remember as well a friend of mine who actually became a Java programmer, and by the time he joined, so many people were doing, Java programming and stuff like that. It was just a standard job, and he got the like a base rate of like 25k just as his junior, and it's whilst that's not necessarily a bad starting wage in comparison to what it used to be, where working on computers was such a niche thing. He was a bit like, really, I've put in all this time in university and everything like that to get my degree and go off and do this thing, and I'm no better off than had I left school and got just a standard office job and worked my way up, and I'd probably be at a better state now than I was then. But yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of the joy has been taken out of computing for me, like working in the industry, but also back then you were it wasn't all automated, it wasn't all done for you. You needed to know how to actually use the hardware, go down to the metal, so to speak. But now it's very different. It's all APIs and very simple languages, and I don't know. It's just some of the joy was taken out of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I even find that with the way the computing world has gone, it has taken some of the joy out of it for me in the sense that, I mean, this isn't even professionally. This is just how it seems to work now, because everybody has the technology at their fingertips, but no one really understands it, and you're left answering so many basic questions that about, oh, my Wi-Fi ain't working, and and you're just like, really.
Yeah, it was bad enough working because I also did IT support back then. Because generally, when you were a programmer, you were expected to do IT support at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it was bad enough then, like people phoning up and going, my printer's not working. It's like, well, have you actually plugged it in?
Yeah.
And then they would lose their temper and yell at you for 5 minutes, telling you how cheeky you are and how you should respect your elders. And then they'd go, oh, I haven't plugged it in.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
It is, to be honest. And that's kind of why I just don't have the joy for it anymore.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Martin says you shouldn't do it, Dave. You'll create a living AI and spell out our doom.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you could probably create a technocracy, couldn't you? Like, you could actually just govern the UK with an AI, and it would definitely do a better job than probably any politician that I've ever seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, something like that would be interesting because there is also the philosophy element of AI.
What would you make your AI do,
I don't know.
though?
Spread a virus through 5G towers?
Brilliant.
You know, just to give hope to those conspiracy theorists.
It's still such a crazy one. Like, just, I don't know. I find that one so weird. The fact that anyone can think that these 5G towers are doing anything.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, I even, there's so much evidence against, like, even the basic understanding of, like, the difference between radiation and viruses. Like, it's one of those arguments that someone was talking about how 5G is what the NWO need to take over the world, because, you know, cashless banking wouldn't work on 4G or anything before that. Well, I'm being completely cashless for a while now, and I've
Yeah,
been doing that since 3G, I think.
yeah, it's a good thing that we've got 5G, or we wouldn't be able to use credit cards.
Yeah. You could poke so many holes into this so easy that it's got to the point where I just go, yeah, mate. Okay.
Best thing to do. Yeah.
uh,
And that's one of the problems. People like that just won't listen to anything you say anyway.
yeah. Annoyingly.
Yeah.
Right. I still don't know if there is an auto build option. It doesn't look like there is. Yeah, I'm gonna send you. Aww. Oh, there's a silver mine near me. I've got a battering ram, but it doesn't seem to be able to attack people, which is what I was hoping it would do.
Yeah, no, it's a city attack only.
Yeah. Well, I realise that now, but I swear in the older ones that you used to be able to do it. Sorry, Martin's come in. He said, "Do you know what they call a state system in which no body is accountable?" Hint: tyranny. I mean, isn't that what we actually experience in the political world anyway?
They can be held accountable, kind of. I mean, we do have ruling bodies like the UN that are supposed to do it. They're just sort of ineffectual.
Yeah. So how do we resolve that one?
Revolution,
Right.
violence, overthrow the masters with guillotines.
Sounds like a nice idea.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
Well,
Everybody's too lazy.
I think that's it.
They
If
might just
everybody
call
got
Bible.
involved, wouldn't they? If everybody got involved with it, then we would have that situation where people were like, "No, we're unhappy with this. We're going to do something about it." But we're not. You know, as you say, people are lazy. People are scared. It's why if you're in a room with 20 people and one of them's got a gun and they hold it out, everybody freezes because they don't want to be the one that dies. Even because those 20 people running at that person with a gun, especially if it's a 6-shooter, it's not going to be able to kill all of them. In fact, at most, he'll be able to kill 6 of them. So that means there's a good chance that a large portion of you survive. But no one wants to be the one that dies.
Gets shot first.
Sorry?
Not just that, the one who gets closest gets shot first.
Yeah. So unless you can flank.
Yeah.
Oh, it wants me to build a sphinx.
I think I'm about to be attacked.
Oh, I want to get my settlers back, damn it. I don't think I'm going to, because there's more and more of these barbarians appearing, and I think they're going to die.
Yeah, I've got a shit ton appearing all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, we put it on easy mode for my benefit, obviously. Dave's a pro. But it appears that it's still difficult. We're going to get wiped out. Here's us going, we'll probably have to save at the end of our 2-hour stream and come back to it. I've only got one city. We're like 40 odd minutes into a game. And I've got one city. I mean, this is definitely slower building than I've experienced in the previous ones as well. Oh yeah, you've got loads around you, Dave. Blimey. I probably shouldn't have complained. You look like you're screwed.
Usually.
Oh, the battles definitely take longer in this as well. They used to. They used to be like, pretty much one sort of kill, but they don't seem to be doing that anymore. Although, archers for the win. Fit. Mage of it. Oh. Ha! I stole your encampment, naughty barbarians. So, out of history, past, present, what are your favourite philosophers? I already know a couple of your contemporary favourites.
That's quite a difficult one, really. I really like Plato's writing style and the arguments that he puts forward. And I like Socrates, obviously, because it gives us the Elenchus. There's bits of most of them that I enjoy. Like even Descartes, his argument for the evil demon isn't particularly great, but it has some great ideas kind of encapsulated within it.
Yeah, fair. Adam likes Hume.
Yeah, I do. He's one of my favorites. He's got such a witty writing style as well.
Even though you disagree with him on the subjective...
He's kind of a motivist. Yeah. But I can see why people would argue emotivism. It's just not my choice. I mean, Mackie argues emotivism as well.
Martin likes all the Stoics.
I'm not surprised there. But yeah, all of them have something worth taking from.
Yeah.
Apart from Anne Rand.
Everyone's always hating on her. I don't know enough to have an opinion. Is she the one that keeps on going on that? You need to be selfish, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that. Fuck you.
Yeah, basically.
I'm sure there's more to it than that, but
no. She just did lots of amphetamines and was selfish.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah. The amphetamine sounds like a good time.
I'm not suggesting everybody goes out there and is incredibly selfish. Obviously, I do my best not to be. We all have moments where we need to be.
Yeah.
You can't constantly always be doing everything for everyone, can you? Otherwise, you end up doing nothing for yourself.
You end up writing most of your dissertation in about 4 days.
Still a bit sore about that one, eh?
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
As long as I pass, it's all good.
Martin says he loves that her foundation took COVID relief as she was against government subsidies.
Hey. That's the thing. It's they have all these great ideals about how nobody should take government money until they're poor. And then it's always, oh, the poor shouldn't take it. Oh shit, I'm poor. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe sometimes it's okay to take government subsidies. But these lazy people who never have a job, they shouldn't get any money.
Change the rules to when it suits them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, blimey. Where's this? Oh, this is my warrior and settler unit. And I need to fortify unit until healed. My settler can skip turn, I guess. I got my settler back, by the way, Dave.
Nice one.
Martin, fucking libertarians. I think that has basically been season 2 of Fresh Air. That was pretty much every episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And rightly so. I do find the attitude interesting where everybody should be basically sorting themselves out. And
I mean, the government obviously should aim towards self-reliance and, that kind of thing. But let's face it, we live in huge, major civilizations, and not everything is equal. Not everybody has the best start. Everybody needs some kind of help, apart from, the super rich.
yeah. Well, exactly. How do we expect anyone in this world, especially you find the people who have got such a lower start in life, to be able to achieve something that someone's got a better start?
Yeah.
I don't understand how that bit it can even be like a good argument to anyone, like you should. Well, it's your fault you didn't save up enough money for this crisis. Therefore, it's your fault that you're out of money. Why should we help you? What's wrong with helping your fellow human?
Yeah, if we didn't help our fellow humans in the beginning, we wouldn't be in the position we are now.
No, exactly. I mean, the whole foundation of morality is essentially flourishing. So how do we flourish? We collaborate. We're a social species. Working together improves our lives, etc. We build a better society. We survive as a species. I mean, this is generally the way I see things with it. So if we don't do these things, and we just only look after ourselves, if everybody only look after themselves, then surely society would basically collapse.
It would.
Because there'd be so much infighting. Instead of it being, a tribe fighting another tribe, or a country fighting another country, you'd be fighting with all your neighbours. No, that's my bit of land. Bang, bang. You know, I can imagine it get absolutely ridiculous. I think libertarianism only works because most people aren't complete dicks.
Yeah.
Oh, political philosophy. I'm getting that one. Just because Martine's currently watching, and you know.
You don't want to let them down.
No, not after him taking us through so many different aspects in season 2. I think he did a fantastic job in those episodes, and I'm looking
He did.
forward to getting back to the power episode as well. I mean, going deep into that one, it should be quite fun.
And going back to the Black Lives Matter stuff.
Yes, actually, yeah, Martine, we need to do your part 2 to Black Lives Matter on sci-fi. You've got a surprise article in the works for me too, just for me. Does that mean we're not going to publish it?
Shall I leave you two alone for a while?
Yeah, I just need to switch the webcam off briefly.
I am an elite hacker. I have access to your webcam now.
He says our readers as well. So that basically it's just for me.
Yeah. We're the only ones who read our site, you know. Adam's the only one who views our streams besides Josh.
And Adam.
That's what I just said.
Oh, you cut out, so it said except Josh.
No, I said Adam's the only one who watches our stream besides Josh.
Okay. Right, let's take these and go over here. I'm gonna go build my city. Oh, apparently it's erection related. Oh, election related, and it will help release my frustrations. Okay, did you spell election wrong, or?
Yeah.
Release my frustrations, eh? What about politicians and how they all seem to be absolute bellends? Is there a politician out there that any of you who are watching, and you too, Dave, that you would actually say seems to be a good person? Like, genuinely looking.
Corbyn.
You reckon?
And who's the New Zealand Prime Minister? Jacinda something?
You're asking the wrong person, but Martine says there's none. So you think for Corbyn, the net result is he seems a pretty good.
He seemed like a decent bloke, yeah.
Yeah, fair. Oh, Nan Madal. Envoys. I don't understand. Influenced by one quest. Relationships. Oh, she's got a relationship with me apparently. How do I send envoy? Oh, okay. That's interesting. This bit's really confusing, the whole envoy bit.
Yeah, that took me a few goes to figure out.
I'm definitely confused as to what to do. I'm trying to get out of it now. Don't know how to get back out. But okay. As Martin says, the wish to be powerful is a sign of deeply flawed personality. They're often self-obsessed. I think that's one of the good things that Douglas Adams addressed in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is, you know, anyone that wants to be in power probably shouldn't be.
Doesn't deserve it.
Yeah. And I do agree with that. Right, where should we go with this? There.
Is there a difference between wanting power and wanting to be in a position where you can help people?
Yeah, maybe power corrupts along the way, but I sort of see where you're saying going with that, because realistically, send envoy. I don't know. Confirm placement. I don't know what to do. I can't get out of it. Yeah. Done it. Yeah, Adam says Marcus Aurelius, but that was 1900 years ago. I still haven't read that Meditations book, but I'm quite behind on my reading of late.
Yeah, so am I. I've got a stack so big it takes me an hour and a half just to look through them all. And then by the time I look through them all thinking which one will I read, I'm too knackered.
So, yeah, Martin agrees because Marcus never wanted power. So, if that's the thing, if you only want power to help people, for example, does that make you a good politician? It probably makes you a bad politician in a lot of people's eyes.
It would make you a bad politician in Machiavelli's eyes.
And where's the line for what's good and bad?
It's all a motive.
Oh. So I was actually thinking as well, because we're playing this game, we often have a chat with people about morality. And some people don't realize, they're generally consequentialist in nature who say this, but some people don't realize that for something to be moral or immoral, you're assuming a certain level of agency.
Yeah.
Sorry. So if you're assuming a certain level of agency, they don't think it. They think it's just the consequence that makes something moral or immoral. But part of morality is, you're deciding to do these things. You're taking this choice. If something just does something automatically, they're not any choice in it. A car that's out of control that say
You're
there's no
breaking
driver.
up.
I'm breaking up. Sorry, mate. I'm saying a car that is out of control. Say it's got no the trolley, right? There's no one on the trolley, but for some reason a computer error fired it off, and it's going to run someone over. If it does, the consequence is definitely bad, but it's not necessarily immoral because the car doesn't have any control. It didn't choose to even fire off. It has no understanding of what it's doing, etc. So it's kind of fair to say that there is no real immoral action going there. If someone had set the cart off in the first place, then they would be immoral. That cart becomes their weapon. And that's why with free will, if there is no free will, there's no real morality because there's no agency. We're essentially no different from the characters on this screen who are attacking each other because they've been told to by me. Now, there's no real harm being done, but if these were real people that I was commanding to do this sort of thing, we could argue that I might be being immoral. Now, with the barbarians, we know that they're going to attack, so I'm preemptively attacking. It's a self-defense thing. So I should fortify there. Sorry. Yeah. So, but on the other hand, they are still not choosing. They're essentially, they have no control. They can't even choose to not listen to my orders. Whereas if you think about a human army being sent to do something immoral, they have the right to basically say, no, you know what, we deem that as immoral, we're not going to do it, we don't agree with what you've told us to do there. So on the free will aspect, if we have no free will, then there is no agency, and therefore the concept of morality sort of loses its purpose. Nothing is truly moral or immoral. We can still make that judgment, can't we? But there is that ultimate purpose isn't really being fulfilled. It becomes a different thing. We're still judging the consequences, but if no one has any control or no real choice over their action, there is no real moral, immoral actions.
Yeah, the idea is sort of like this. I'll try to break it down kind of simply. And the same sort of holds true for something like rational and irrational. In order to be able to say that you have ownership of your actions and to be able to judge something as moral or immoral, you have to be able to make the choice to do that action. You have to own that action. And you have to be able to do the opposite. You have to be able to choose to do the opposite in order to be considered to be doing the right thing.
So in that situation, could we go, so if someone had put a gun to your head and you had a choice of they killed you and 5 people, or you killed one person, in there you don't really have a choice. You do a little bit, but the choice is to allow more harm to happen than if you killed one person.
Yeah. Sort of that. I suppose you could put that down to a sort of Sophie's Choice type thing, where you have a mother who's being admitted into a Nazi camp, and she's told that she can only bring one of her sons in, and she has to pick which son lives and which son dies, or he'll kill both the children. So the mother in that case wouldn't, even though she would have like a guilt remainder in herself because she's been put through this choice, could you really say she's been immoral when she picks one of the children? Because it's not her choosing to do that action. It's the Nazi camp commandant making that choice the only choice.
Yeah.
So in that case, it's the commandant. The consequences of her action might be such that her child dies, and you might say, well, she was immoral. She had her kid killed. But the consequence of her actions are actually the consequence of the Nazi commandant's actions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And he's the one that is immoral in that situation. Her actions have caused the negative consequence, but the Nazi commandant in that situation is the one who is immoral. So we could say the same for, if there is an automated process, if someone hadn't done their duty of care, let's just go back to the trolley. Someone hadn't done their duty of care, and they hadn't done everything they could to ensure that this wouldn't go wrong. You could make an argument that there is at least someone who is at fault for what's happened. But that wouldn't necessarily make them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't necessarily.
But without
make
the
them
person being
immoral.
able to make that choice of, how do you mean?
So they wouldn't have had the intent to cause that situation. they wouldn't have known it was definitely going to happen. They would have been in a situation where they just didn't do their full duty of care.
Yeah.
So in that situation, would you regard that person as immoral or just careless?
I would put them down as careless. Um, because for me, at least when it comes to morality, intent counts.
Yeah.
Like if you go to save a small child and you give them chest compressions and you accidentally break their rib and puncture their lung and they die anyway, have you behaved immorally?
No.
Yeah, see, because you've killed this kid, but you didn't intend to kill the kid. It was an accident. You were actually trying to do something good. But you have to be careful then because, it's like you could end up in the same situation as Thanos, arguing for something like that. I didn't intend to kill these half the universe. I intended to help the other half survive.
That reminds me, we were going to do our superhero, supervillain morality at some point, weren't we?
We were.
Yeah, we should get Josh on for that one. That'd be a good one to have a conversation, especially seeing as he's quite consequentialist himself. So he will be looking at it very hardly from that sort of situation, from that angle. So it'd be very interesting to have quite a different perspective on it.
Yeah. You know me. I'm not a consequentialist, though.
You can be when it suits.
Yeah. I think consequences are part of it, but not the whole.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think even if you're going with something like what most people would refer to as the subjective position, even they work on something like consequences and intent.
Right.
Even if they're not realizing it, their brain is processing it in that way.
But so if we go back to the whole free will bit, then so if there is if we're thinking hard determinism, that would mean that we actually do have no control over anything that we're doing. There would still be the consequences of what we're doing, but we essentially are that cart that's just been allowed to run free, or an avalanche that is falling and crushing a village. Yes, there's no negative. Sorry, there is a negative consequence, but there's no real accountability. The difference, though, with the trolley, for example, the trolley would have had someone who didn't fulfill their duty of care. So in a hard deterministic universe, there is no person or consciousness or anything like that with a duty of care.
Well, unless you're an idealist, but no, there isn't. There is nothing that actually sets out with any intent or with any motive or with the ability to choose something else. They've not made the right choice. They've just done what they were always going to do.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the things that I don't like about hard determinism. And just because I don't like it, I know that that doesn't necessarily mean it isn't true. But it is one of the things that steers me away from hard determinism, is the fact that it basically negates the purpose of morality. Yes, we still need to act as if we have free will and morality exists. So ultimately, I guess it doesn't really change anything, does it? But it's... I don't know. It's one of those complex ones that I keep going back and forward over and over and over in my mind. I wish we knew for definite.
I don't think we really could, not unless we discover the actual mechanisms that would allow us to make a free choice. But here's another way to look at it. Think about rationality. Rationality is thinking in a particular way, isn't it? Reasoning according to the rules of logic.
Yep.
But you have to choose to reason that way in order to be considered rational. Like, if everything is determined, your thought process might be rational, but you wouldn't be. So it's sort of similar to the free will thing. There has to be the ability to do the right or the wrong thing in order to be able to say that somebody is praiseworthy or blameworthy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And same with rational and irrational. If you couldn't think otherwise, then you're not really being irrational. You're just doing what you were always going to do. It's just that the outcome appears to be irrational.
Yeah.
And you could never claim to be a free thinker.
No. No, because there is no free thought. It's all controlled.
No.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah, there is.
I'm sending an envoy to Amsterdam. I hope they have some good smoky.
Back then, it would have been slaves, not smoke.
Oh. Well, let's hope the slaves have some good smoky. Sorry, carry on, Dave. Amsterdam doesn't go to The Hague. I've been to both Amsterdam and The Hague. I went from one to the other. Oh, sorry. I didn't see the full stop between your words there. Sorry, that's me misreading. I need to find The Hague. Den Haag. So, without free will, there is no real morality, rationality, etc.
No free thought.
Oh, nice pronunciation. I reckon he's being sarcastic, don't you?
Ever. I won't hear a bad word said about him.
I won't say many bad words. Cancel orders. I need to fortify you. Whoops. Pyramids. I thought I'd already built them. Oh dear. So, duchies are over there. Should we meet up and attack them, Dave?
Could do. I don't even know where you are, though. I don't think I've actually found you. I haven't been able to explore very much yet.
No, you've had people swarming all over you. Yeah, you've been quite unfortunate in that regard. So, you got a second city as well now?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to do a third too.
Ooh, look at you, so flash.
Don't make me get my man boobs out.
Look, I can get horseback riding. Not just horse riding, horseback riding. Just in case you don't know where you're supposed to sit on the horse.
Well, one's porn and one's actual equestrian. So yeah, but back to the rationality and morality thing. I tend to agree with you. I mean, we could still sort of judge the actions as moral and immoral, but we would have to retune how we think about morality.
Yeah. It would just be a judgment on whether the consequences were good or bad, really, wouldn't it? Rather than looking at it in a more in-depth way.
Or, impositions of will and rocks falling on your head makes the universe immoral.
Maybe that's where he got that idea. An overwhelming lack of understanding.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's partly that.
But I mean, realistically, even consequentialism takes a part of intent into it, doesn't it? It's still someone choosing to do the action.
No, because it's judged solely on the consequences. So
in the situation where you were talking about earlier about, chest compressions, under a purely consequentialist moral theory, that would be judged as immoral.
Yeah.
Well, I think that shows why pure consequentialism doesn't work. It gives you a finger in the air idea, but it doesn't really. Oh, what makes obsolete? I should really have a look at all this stuff that's going on. Yeah, T-Jump's morality. Yep, Adam, that's what we were talking about.
He knows.
Yes, indeedy. Never mind, eh? Game is waiting on me. I'm still having my turn. There you go.
It's very pushy, isn't it?
Yeah. The game's waiting for you, man. Game's waiting for you.
Yeah, T-Jump's morality is really something else.
Well, yeah, as I was alluding to at the beginning, his understanding is less than mine, and I would not regard myself as a philosopher, and he regards himself as a philosopher. I suppose in a way it's kind of like when people wear the badge skeptic, but don't act like a skeptic ought.
Don't actually use critical thinking.
Yeah, they just, well, I'm a skeptic because I don't believe in God. Therefore, I'm a skeptic.
Yeah. I doubt everybody and everything. Therefore, I am a skeptic.
Yeah, that's just a denialist.
Yeah. Or a cynic.
Cynic
is another term for it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a difference between the two, but you could.
Oh yeah.
You could go with either of them. Yeah.
I really do need to start work on that, pulling all those video clips up so we can do a stream.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, what's his name?
John Buck.
Yeah, he's got a video where I did tell him that we might steal a couple of clips from his stream, and he was okay with that. So I was technically not his in the first place anyway. So, but it's a good place to start to get some clips.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that one might be a fun one. It'd be again a different methodology for us. As much as I love having the conversations that we do, it's nice to have a change of pace and do something a little bit different. Which is why I'm enjoying having the conversation over a game, because it's a different platform. I actually really enjoyed the ones where we were interviewing someone else as well. So, like when we had Ozzy on, and when I had Tim O'Neill on.
We need to
both
get Adam on.
Yeah, I did actually ask him the other day, and he said he wants to wait until his channel is a little bit more up and running himself, and then he'll join us.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but even if there is a topic that you're really interested in and you want to have a chat with us, or if there's any of our articles or comments or anything like that that you really disagree with and you want to hash out with us on the channel, we're more than happy to do that sort of thing as well. Yeah, as I've said a number of times, like we're not really necessarily in the mood for a full-on debate, but we'd like the conversation and we like the difference of opinion. And the reason I'd say it as a conversation rather than a debate personally is because I prefer to have a conversation with someone. I'm not here to prove you wrong or be proved right myself. I'm here to have the conversation, learn why you think what you think, and maybe change my thought patterns to yours if what you say is convincing enough, or perhaps the other way, or maybe it'll end with an agree to disagree. I don't really mind it. To me, the conversation is what's more important.
Yeah, same. And Joe will change his mind because I've seen it happen.
It's largely because it's often been you that's done it. But yeah. Oh, I'm suddenly on this great people thing.
I haven't had any of that yet.
I've got enough great person points to meet his so. How do I? Oh, I just press recruit or pass. Right, okay. Boadicea. I have Boadicea now. Ha.
Ho, ho, ho.
I will assume that it is for the best. Oh, do I let people have holy sites? No. They can have a granary.
Fascist.
I'll let them have it when they start getting miserable.
Anti-theist.
Well, I just want it to be separated from church and state, okay?
I wonder if there are any atheists that are so atheist that they just ignore the whole religion side of things of this game.
Well, you didn't really have religion in the previous ones, did you? I mean, I always built the monuments. You always had the worshipping side of things within cities because it gave you bonuses. But there wasn't building a religion before.
In Civ 5, there was an add-on pack, I think it was of Gods and Kings, and that introduced the idea of building up religions and theologies and things.
Ah, fair. I don't know what she's supposed to do. She's a great general.
If you click on her, she'll open up a menu bar similar to the other, like, warriors and stuff. And I think it gives you an option to create a site or transform or something like that.
Interesting. I'll just... Yeah, interesting. I don't know what's going on. I've never felt so lost in a Civ game before. Like, every time I've played it, there's always been just a couple of extra little bits to it. And you're like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm glad they put that in. And this time I'm looking at the game going, what? What do I do? I'm sending her off to another city just to see what happens. Rumour has it that Greece has progressed from the classical era to the medieval era. Well done, Greece. Or something. Oh, I get more diamonds. I keep finding diamonds. Oh, I've also found Quilla.
Willow?
Quilla.
Ah,
Oh. I'm
I
not even going
thought
to
you.
try and pronounce his name, but it's from the Congo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bazinga. I'm going to call him Bazinga.
that'll do. You racist.
Well, it's his last name. If it had a BA instead of an N, it would be Bazinga.
Okay.
Nzinga. I'll go with that. Yeah, how would you pronounce that? Blimey. I wish things were spelt more phonetically. It's really, really difficult reading things at the best of times.
That's why Welsh is a good language.
Yeah, you have words like bus, spelt almost the same except with a W instead of a U.
Yeah,
It's a bus.
and you've also got dog is called a key.
A key?
Yeah,
Well, what do you call your keys?
I don't know because I don't speak enough Welsh to know that.
Can I make a deal?
Do I look like Noel Edmonds?
Oh, they could give me some spices. And no, they don't want. What would it take for you to give me spices? A one-time offer of 141 coins, or that's a lot. I'll tell you what. I will change that to 120 coins. No, they will only accept 141 coins. No. Never mind. You can go away. With our videos that we did with the various theories of knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know we didn't have epistemological nihilism in it. But did we miss any other theories of knowledge off of it, or anything else that would have been probably good to include, but didn't think about it at the time?
I'm not really sure. I think you could maybe go with virtue epistemology. But that's sort of similar to the epistemic responsibility that we discussed the other night.
Fair. Yeah, I mean, I know we've got the next part of that series that we're going to record anyway, which is going to be on the various ontological positions. And I'm quite looking forward to doing that. I mean, we haven't actually had a chance to sit down with the other Fresh Air guys and record a video in a while, or a podcast or anything. We still have our value episodes to do and our power ones and all of that. It's just getting everybody locked down, really, isn't it?
Everybody is locked down because of COVID.
Yes. But amazingly busy all the same.
Yeah. Yeah, now that I've got free time, everybody else is busy.
Just typical. Ooh.
Although saying that, come February, hopefully I'll be busy again.
Yeah, although hopefully not too busy. I mean,
no, because
selfishly speaking.
Yeah, no, it'll be an undergrad degree, so it'll be a lot of work, but not quite the same as the masters.
Do you think once you've done that course, you'll go on to do anything in particular, like another degree straight after, or will you jump into the working world, or what?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm just playing it as it goes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you can't really predict anything at the minute because, let's face it, the job market is it's collapsing, and when it comes back, there's going to be so much competition that people like me will be at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah. Which I guess is a good reason to actually get in and do this degree anyway, so that you're, even if you are at the bottom, you won't be at the absolute bottom of it. You'll have a
That's it.
couple of degrees supporting you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna automate exploration of a number of different things now. I accidentally didn't build the mine I was going to and sent my worker back to where he came.
Oh no.
Silly me. Ooh. I still don't know what this Bodicea is supposed to do. I'm just gonna put her in a city for a bit and just chill. Should be an escort formation with a warrior. Cool. What unit needs warriors? The warrior. Let's fortify it. Yeah. Oh, Bodicea, just chill. I don't know what you're supposed to do yet. Have you got your third city yet, Dave?
No, not yet. I'm just sending them along their way.
I haven't got my next load of settlers yet. Let's go see what Dave's doing on his screen. I like this.
Waiting for Judge, apparently.
Oh, really?
Well, no, it's moved on now. Yeah.
I must have did it as I was doing it. Oh, I've been told to send another envoy. I swear this envoy thing isn't something that you used to do as well.
Yeah, I seem to remember it in Civ 5.
I remember sending like the caravans along, but I don't remember sending this bit. Especially as it just keeps telling me to just do it. It's that's what it is, I guess. My memory is definitely fallible. Oh, I've got a trader unit. I don't have roads yet, man. Roads. Where we going, we don't need roads. I should have poured myself a bigger glass of wine.
Well, I'm going to have to go in about 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
No, we did say we were going to finish by 10 tonight, so...
Well, Emma's got a 9 o'clock start again tomorrow, so...
Yeah, that's fair. I meant to tell you earlier, actually, Dave. So, Ivy has been speaking a little more. So she's got to a point where she's very vocal, but obviously she speaks like a baby.
Yeah.
So in other words, she doesn't actually make any sense. But what is interesting is you learn your baby's language. They sort of say things, and you recognise what they're trying to say. So there's a lot of it is, what's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? And she's starting to do this really thing where she's like found her S sounds, so she's going
Yeah.
But today, I swear, she's just going asshole, asshole, asshole.
Has she been listening to you program?
I need to record her saying it. It's brilliant. She's been under the weather again recently with a bit of another cold.
Oh, nightmare.
But yeah, she's she's bounced back. We're a week early on the DST change. Yeah, that's one of the confusing things, Adam. Like the time change over here happens like 1 or 2 weeks differently to it does in America, and it always throws things out. So sometimes we're 4 hours different, sometimes we're 6 hours different to the Eastern, which is usually 5 hours. Yes, very. I find it very, very, very confusing personally. Then that's the sort of thing that usually confuses me anyway. Hello, Phoebes. Ooh, I like science. Building myself a campus district. Yeah. Right. I think we should kill people, but maybe we should save that for next time. We've done a lot of building, a lot of getting it going. Should start building an army and going to war.
You violent bastard.
Well, yes. Yes, this Amsterdam. Let's go see if we can find the rest of Holland. The Netherlands. All this stuff. I do wish they had the ability to automate workers, though. That's one really serious flaw with this game. I always used to let the workers go. Netherland, sorry. Or is it Nederland? Oh, he's gonna kill me now. Yeah. Somewhere in between Nederland and Nederland. Right, okay. I'm gonna go with I give up, man.
Is that the skin between the butt and the balls?
The perineum? Yeah, I need to build another settler actually because I'm starting to find some good shit around. I've set all my guys off to auto explore now as well because I can't be bothered to just tell them where to go every time. I like the fact that I like the color of these purple people. Or pink, sort of like a hot pink with a black background. I like it. Yeah, so for the next one, oh, I've just done something to my stream. It's back. I think it would be good, and I think actually if we get other people in the chat room with us, like as in voice, so whilst we're playing, we've got more conversation going on as well. If you're up for that. I mean, this is all experimental. This is doing something a bit different. I mean, the sci-fi show that we've been doing, I've found really enjoyable, and it's been nice to have like these generally shorter episodes, which have been like hard, fast. Here's your bit of information. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll carry on from there. Obviously, we've got the Fresh Air podcast, which can go into quite a lot of detail, but it takes a lot of time cutting out and sorting out everything that we need to do for it. But with these, I see it almost as an opportunity to actually get other people involved. So, I mean, we could get like Martine in and Adam in and all of that, and just get them to join us on the stream and just have the conversation with us and bring up topics and have you heard this? And I think if any of you guys out there are up for that, we're up for giving that a go. I definitely think a game like this is probably easier to have a conversation like this as well, though, Dave.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if we were playing some hard and fast first-person shooter, I think our conversation would be.
We wouldn't be having a conversation.
Yeah. I used to game a lot with my friend Ben, the psychotherapist who I want to get on Fresh Air at some point, and we'd have a great time, but we'd be doing these missions. We'd generally be playing like Payday 2, and obviously you have your like stealthy missions or your stealthy part of missions, and we'd be like having this long conversation, having it all, and all of a sudden you just get this wave upon wave of police coming and attacking you, and yeah, it would just we'd go quiet.
Yeah.
What keeps happening to my workers? Do they keep getting stolen? Because I swear I had more than one worker. I don't know. Ah, so we could actually wipe them out. The Nan Madol. Who are they? I've sent 2 envoys there apparently. Ooh, some new people. Candy. They are. Oh, it's a city-state. Are the city-states in this one where it is just a single city rather than actually a civilization? Is that how it works?
I think so.
Trying to remember how it goes. Thebes. It looks like Civ 5. It's close to Civ 5. It's Civ 6, Chris. It's actually really different. I'm having a lot of trouble playing it because I've got no clue what I'm doing. You're currently watching Dave. His city is definitely doing a lot better than mine. His main capital's level 9. Mine's only level 7.
Yeah, not for much longer. Can you not see me surrounded by people attacking me?
Are they barbarians or are they another race?
No, they're Persley. And I have another city attacking me as well.
Oh no. Why are they all hating on
Yeah. Just life in general is like that. Everybody hates me. Okay, I think I'm fucked.
Chris, you should have got it when Epic Games were giving it away free. That's the only reason I've got it. I mean, I bought Civ 2, I got given Civ 3, I bought Civ 4 and 5 and the one in space, and I actually bought Alpha Centauri. Do you remember that one when that came out?
I've not played that one, but I did want it.
But yeah, I got Civ 6 free. It's one of the best things about Epic Games, actually, is they give out free games all the time. I don't know how they can afford to do it. Especially as I can't actually afford to buy games at the moment. So, like, the fact that I can get a free game every week is great. I don't have time to play them though, so you know.
Yeah, my problem.
But you know, if we can justify, yeah, no, so they had Civ, they had one that wasn't actually Civ, which was Alpha Centauri, but I think it was still a Sid Meier game. And then they had, after Civ 5, they did a space version of Civilizations. Oh, you might survive, Dave. Buy some units.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But they're being wiped out as quickly as they're appearing.
Oh, no. I wish I knew where you were. I'd come help you. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, I'm still a bit lost as to where to go. I'm looking for the rest of Holland, though. I think they might only have Amsterdam. So, Dave, for the next one, obviously we're going to go and have a sci-fi show at some point next week. Have you had any thought on what we should do the next episode of Sci-Fi on?
No, I've not really had a thought yet.
Ah.
But I figured I'd take a couple of days to think of something.
Yeah, cool. And then, yeah, I think it would be good to get this. I mean, even if we only did this every sort of couple of weeks, but try and get some people, like at least on Discord, to have a chat with us whilst we're playing and ask us questions live on there. It might be a different way to do it, because I know the sci-fi show we try and keep quite short, and it's either just Dave and me, or we might have a guest that we're talking about a specific subject. Whereas what I think we should do with the Plato's Gaming Cave is to basically open it up and have people just ask, well, either of us any particular questions, hopefully philosophy related, but it doesn't have to be, and it's an excuse for at least me to get some time playing a game. Chris, in regards to your question about is it an Earth map or a random map, it's whatever the default settings were. So I assume it's a random map. In Canada, we get free games on Xbox Live Gold. Don't you pay a subscription to that? Is it free if you pay a subscription? Well, basically just, it's like saying on Netflix you get free movies and TV shows. It's not exactly free. You're paying for a subscription. Or do you get to keep them even if you cancel your subscription? Because then you are getting them for free. Oh, blimey, Dave. You do look like you're going to get wiped out. It's actually gone a bit safe around where I am. He says. I'm going to send an envoy to Ganby and to Amsterdam. Yeah, not much going on my side at the moment. I'm just waiting for stuff. I'm glad that you've actually got stuff going on in yours. I'm just building. I'm waiting for turns to pass whilst I explore and do things.
That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, you just have an unlucky placement that you've got so many folks around you looking to do you in.
Story of my life, to be honest.
I think everyone out there, please give Dave a cuddle. Oh, Frankie says,
Thank you.
Is Preslav an enemy state here? I don't know. This is my first time ever playing, dude.
I think he's talking about my end. That's the.
Oh yes, I see.
Yeah. They didn't declare an enemy. They just suddenly started attacking me. So I think I must have missed a notification somewhere.
Oh dear. So, yeah. So I don't think it's like one of those city states, though, is it? I think it's an actual. With how many units they've got, they've obviously got to have more than just their particular. What do you call it? Yeah,
I'm not sure.
So, I mean, do they have any other cities, or is it a city-state? It looks like it could be a city-state, actually. Yeah, so it's a city-state that's decided to attack Dave for some reason. Or did it join up to the... Yeah, it's a city-state. Yeah, so you're right, Frankie. I've turned into a Wright Johnson recently.
The dog's come to tell me off that I've been upstairs for too long.
Well, no, we did say we were going to end at 10 tonight, so it is that time where we need to save and quit. So, save game. Dave and Joe Plato. 1. There we go. I've saved.
I have as well.
Excellent. So we're back to the front screen. So that was our first Plato's Gaming Cave. So I hope you enjoyed the conversation. We had a little discussion about what makes us or what makes a philosopher. And how I am not a philosopher. I'm a philosophy enthusiast that just does not have the time to be a philosopher.
Same.
We discussed free will and morality. A little bit of politics inspired by Martaine. And you saw me bumble around like a complete idiot playing a game I'd never played before. Excuse me. So next week we will be doing another sci-fi stream, at least one sci-fi stream. And if anyone wants to join us for the next Plato's Gaming Cave, to start with, we'll do it as just having you in the audience, but you can join us on our Discord server. So contact me by DM wherever you are. So that's Answers in Reason on Twitter or on Facebook, or get us on the site, or contact us on YouTube. I'll send you a link to our Discord server, and you can join in with us and into the conversation next time. And yeah, maybe we'll start getting more multiplayer games on the go as well, and seeing how that affects the conversation. It could end up funny. It could be absolutely awful as well. Who knows? But yes, so coming up, we are going to be doing another sci-fi show, as I mentioned. We do actually have our next video that we're recording for the Fresh Air podcast. So I don't know if you've seen them yet, but there are 2 videos on our YouTube channel under Fresh Air. One on beliefs and propositional logic, and one on knowledge and certainty. This is going to be basically the third part of that, and it's around the various ontological positions in regards to the proposition of God's existence. It's just going to be a quick one, but we are going to be trialing broadcasting live to our Patreon site. It's going to be our first time giving that a go, but yeah, it should be all right. Do you remember when that one is, Dave?
No.
I've put it in my diary, but I haven't scheduled the event yet. So that one will be coming up. So hopefully, any of you who are part of our Patreon site can can join us on that, and hopefully I won't be fumbling my words as much as I have tonight. As always, it's been great having you here. It's been nice to do something a little bit different and to try Civ 6 at last. Yeah, thank you everyone that's popped into the chat room, and everybody that has also watched us tonight. I've had a laugh. You've been watching Plato's Gaming Cave. I'm Joe.
And I'm Plato.
Good night, all.
Good night, all.